It's time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone. Bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
Welcome back to Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We got Big Larry in the co-pilot seat today. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be back.
Oh, awesome, man. Did you have a good trip this week? You were down in Houston.
I was down in Houston this week.
How was I don't even know what they're called. The city of what? Do you know?
The city of Houston.
Okay, smart ass. I lived down there for 12 years.
Yeah, I knew that.
And I like Houston. Like, I know some people are not fans. It's too big. It's too busy. Too much traffic. But there's a ton of stuff to do down there.
There is, and I did not do any of it.
Oh, man.
Houston is big, and I'm one of those people. I wouldn't say I don't like Houston. I have no desire to live in Houston. I don't even visit Houston often. It's too big, and during the summer, it's too humid, and there's too much traffic.
Well, for me, it's just too far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 6.5 hour drive at least.
But if you live there, it would not be that far.
Well, true, but I don't want to live there again. I like to go back to visit. I wish I went back more. Yeah. If it was where Dallas is, right, I'd go back.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. Tell everybody what you're smoking this week.
I'm smoking a Padron handmade.
Oh,
Humidor.
Very nice.
Yes. Yeah, this was a gift. This was a Veterans Day gift.
Oh.
From folks at the shop, I believe. You know, Paul, every Veterans Day, he gives out cigars to the veterans.
Does that.
Yeah, the veterans who are members, we open our lockers, and there's a cigar or two in there from Paul. And,
very nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. That's a great gesture on his part. I definitely appreciate it.
And he's retired military.
Paul is. Yep.
And so hats off. Thank you both, you and Paul, for your service. And,
Thank you for your support.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of those things where I regret not serving, mainly because
we don't.
You don't regret me not serving. So I'm not going to tell the long story of why I didn't. I tried to, and it didn't work out. Basically, we won't need to go into more details. But anyway, I wanted to, but I wasn't like dedicated, like, oh, this is what I want to do.
Right.
It was like, I don't have nothing going on in my life.
I'll join the military.
Right. And then there's like,
or not.
Oh, you require this? So, no, thank you for your service. I think it's a life-changing decision, too.
That's true.
And for the better for most.
Yeah. Yep. And for me, it definitely was. It was for me. Yeah.
And how old were you when you went in?
I was 19.
19. And so was it a big adjustment, like, as far as your maturity level?
It was. Yeah. I think it really was. And to have that force structure in your life that I really didn't have before. But it was good. It was good. I got some lifelong skills and made some lifelong friends.
That's awesome. And see, that's the part that I feel like I really missed out on. As I got older, I met a bunch of dudes that had served, and hearing their stories, I was like, damn, wish I would have done that. But, life goes on.
That's okay. But you're providing a great service these days.
Well, I try.
And I mean, aside from just Cigar Talk.
Okay.
With your regular job.
Yeah, I try. And so anyway, I'm smoking right now a Medallia Corona Extra, from McAuliffe.
Oh, of course.
This is my go-to. In fact, our canister here is full of Medallias.
Oh, for the listeners at home, if only you could view.
It's like you turn it and you're like, well, that's the only cigar you got in there. I like to have these ready at any time. Yeah. And then a little bit later, I'm going to smoking this one for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to finish this one up. And then after the interview with Michael, I'll probably light up this next cigar I have, and I'll talk about it also.
All right.
But then we will do our pick six.
Okay.
We've got Michael Slate from Case Elegance as our interview this week. So you're not going to want to miss that. They've came out with a lot of new products, and all of them are badass. And this is the cool thing is, like, you think this is going to be just a simple product. We have a canister here that holds 20 cigars. It has a wooden top. It's made of glass. And then down in the bottom, it has a cedar plank. And so in the middle, you have room to put a Bovetta pack. So it's airtight. But you think, oh, well, that's simple. We could make that, no problem. They've worked on this for 2 years.
That's what Case Elegance does.
Just right.
They want to make it perfect.
He said that when you pour glass like this, they never turn out the same. Like one batch will be this way, the next batch, even though you did the same techniques, there's a little bit difference. So they don't make the lids until they make the batch because every batch will have a little bit difference from the last one. So, but 2 years of research and development, and that's what they learned. So that's what I love about Case Elegance is they always take that extra time to make sure they get it right before they start selling products.
They put in the work.
Right, 100%. So anyway, we're going to do our pick six this week. Then we're going to have the interview with Michael Slate. And then we'll come back and do the Tabanero trivia. And you'll have a shot at winning $50 of Masada Cash. And you can use that at their website and order whatever you want at their website. And we already have had several winners. And so go by. Well, I'll give you all the details on that when we do the trivia because you'll forget between now and then.
I will.
Not you, but everybody else.
I will too.
Okay. So, and then when we come back, we'll do the trivia, and then we will have a segment that talks about Christmas. And so we're going to get you ready. We're going to get that holiday cheer in you. And by then I will have had a couple of drinks, so you'll really get it. Yeah. So let's move on and let's jump right into this week's pick six.
All right. You going first?
Oh, no, you know you are.
Okay. First one on my list was the Ave Maria Immaculata. It's an AJ Fernandez blend. It was fairly mild to me. I think they call it mild to medium. It was really pretty mild to me. Has got an Ecuador, Connecticut wrapper, to be honest with you. And you know how much I like Ave Maria products.
Yeah.
I was disappointed with this one. It just was missing something. I don't know what. Good taste. It did not agree with my palate.
Maybe it was too light for you.
I've had light cigars before. It wasn't that.
That you like.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say.
We should probably clarify that. Yes. I've had light cigars that I like. This one I was kind of disappointed with it.
Okay.
So anyway, moving on. Cigar you gave me, Nica Libre.
Oh, with
Aganorsa. Yes. Yeah. That was good. I would actually call that medium to full, just like they market it as medium to full, and I agree. And I don't think too much is full-bodied.
Right.
I agree with that one. I'd call it medium to full.
And it has a lot of flavor. I mean, from the time you light it up, you get some spice right out the gate, but then it kind of drifts on some different notes all the way through, but the construction was spot on for me.
It was the one I had was perfect. It was perfect. And we've talked about this before. I don't have that kind of palate where I can pick out this notes of this and that. This one, I actually tasted some chocolate and some pepper in this one.
Very nice.
And I enjoyed it. I hope you have more.
I do. I think I've got a couple, 3. Feel free. I'll give you 1 or 2 before you leave today.
All right.
So quick.
Thank you. Quick. And then the last one, which is the cigar I'm smoking now, was that Padron handmade.
Very nice.
Maduro. I'm enjoying it.
You can never go wrong with the Padron.
Cannot. Absolutely cannot.
For some reason, maybe I got some of that spice, but I feel like I'm about to sneeze, but then it's going away and then it's coming back.
It's a roller coaster ride.
So anyway, this week for me was some of the ones that I've loved over the years. The first one was the Christoph Signature Series, JT, and it was a gift from our friend Sean.
Yes, Sean.
It was, I think it was what do you call those? A double perfecto or something like that, where it's pointed on both ends.
Yes.
It's like, this guy knows cigars? Well, kind of. I know how to smoke them. But no, that is one of my favorite cigars. And I got to say, I've probably smoked maybe 30 of those. And I've only had construction issues with those once. And this one was perfect. Right. And I want to say that one time I had any problems, it was because it was my fault. It was not properly humidified.
Right.
And, sometimes you take that for granted. Don't take that for granted. If a cigar is not properly humidified, it's not going to smoke right. And then you can't blame the guy who made it.
That's right. Yeah. It can ruin the entire experience.
100%.
I've had it happen.
And then the next cigar on my list, this was a fantastic. It was from Arturo Fuente, and it's Don Carlos Personal Reserve.
Oh.
Got that at the Good Karma shop in Lubbock.
Okay.
Very good cigar. And, I don't know the Vitola off the top of my head, but I'm going to guess at it. And I would say that it was probably like a 5.5 by 42. Very nice. And it was like the perfect ratio of wrapper, binder, and filler so that it's just perfect. You know, you get just the right amount of each one of those.
Okay.
Very good cigar. In fact, I'll be going up to Lubbock in a couple of weeks, and I will go by there and get us a couple of those so you can smoke one.
Thank you.
See what you think.
All right.
And then the last cigar on my list is actually the cigar I'm going to smoke after the break. And it is the El Pulpo from Artesano Tobacco. It's made in Esteli, and they use a San Andreas wrapper. And this is from Artesano Tobacco, which also makes the Viva La Vida. So if you haven't seen the El Pulpo, first of all, it's a beautiful cigar.
It is. That is.
The band, the tobacco, all of it just looks like...
It's a masterpiece.
I mean...
Like a work of art.
A work of art. And I think that goes into, like, the presentation for them. Both of the lines of cigars they make are a beautiful work of art. You know, you have the Viva La Vida, which has a lot of the same colors, but the artwork is amazing. And so if you haven't seen the El Pulpo, you should definitely, like, hunt it.
Yes.
Seek it out.
Find it.
Great cigar.
Yeah, we smoked some of those in Lubbock a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we sure did.
Box. One night.
Yeah, we sat out on a patio, and it comes in a box of 10, and I went to go get some more of those, and I was like, holy shit, did we smoke all of those last night?
We did.
Well, and it wasn't just me and Larry. There was like 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah, there's 4 of us.
Okay, well, it seemed like there was 5 of us.
And we were smoking other things too.
Yeah.
Other cigars.
Other
Smoking
cigars.
Other cigars also.
And so I want to say we had like 4 cigars apiece that night.
At least.
And so, I mean, 16 cigars in about a 4-hour stretch.
And you know, I had 2 before you came over.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good night though.
Great patio though.
Yes. Oh, Hampton Inn off Marcia Sharp in Lubbock.
Oh, if you're ever in Lubbock and you want to, if you smoke cigars, that should be the premier hotel for cigar smokers.
I don't know if I've been to a hotel in a long time that had a patio that nice.
I don't know of any patio that I've stayed on that was that nice. Now, I do know the Hilton Inn, also in Lubbock. The Garden Inn, Hilton Garden Inn, has a great patio, but it's all open. And, you know, Lubbock is a windy city just naturally.
Right.
At least at the Hampton, there's some wind barriers. You're outside, but you're covered.
You're covered.
And so if it rains, you're still good. And if it's windy,
got some
you're
walls
gonna
out
get
there.
some wind, but it's not going to be like you're just sitting out in the desert.
Yeah, that was a great patio. You know, so, you know, my job, which I'm about to retire from, took me to Lubbock a lot over the last 10 years. I spent a lot of time in Lubbock. Sadly, I just discovered that property. It was great.
Same. And I will be going there from now on.
Yeah.
Like my little pet peeve that I had, I'm over that.
Over that, yeah.
I went and stayed at the Embassy Suites, and it made me get over my little pet peeve in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And, you know, my wife went with me, and she was like, tell me again why we're not staying at the Hampton. And I was like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Embassy Suites, they're kind of due for a makeover.
They're due for a makeover, but also, you know, they have a bar on site.
Yeah.
So I like to be able to go out on a patio with my own bottle. And if you're at the Embassy Suites, they won't let you drink your own liquor because you have to go spend it inside at their bar. And I'm like, but I'm not in the bar. I'm outside. Well, they don't care. And so to me, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, I can sit here and have 2 or 3 drinks and drink from my own bottle, which I get to buy what I want. And a lot of times when you're at a bar, they don't have anything close to what you want.
I've had that happen numerous times.
I mean, most bars, if you're smoking cigars and you want a bourbon, it's like your selection is very limited. And if you don't like Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, you're screwed.
And Jack Daniels is not even a bourbon. When you go to so many bars and say, hey, you know, what kind of bourbon you have? Oh, we have Jack Daniels. That's not whiskey. Bourbon.
That's a whiskey.
Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah. And, you know, there are some Jack Daniels that I like, but none of the bars carry those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I will say last time I did go by the Gaslight. So we're going to talk about the Gaslight again for a minute. If you're smoking cigars and you want to hang out at a place where you can relax and enjoy a couple of bourbons, they usually have a good selection. Yeah. Now, it's not huge, but there's always at least one or sometimes three that's really good bourbons.
All right.
And their bourbon's not expensive. I mean, I'm like, a double is like $10, $12.
It's not bad at all.
No, not when you're getting good bourbon. Yeah. Now, I did have a E.H. Taylor while I was there.
Ooh.
And it was $20 for a double.
Okay.
And that's really not that bad when you consider how rare it is. It's not good based on the price that I actually pay for that, but it's good based on what some people pay for theirs.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll wrap that up. That's enough about hotels, but that's an important thing if you travel.
Yes, it is. They are.
And you've been traveling for years.
I have.
And so, man, are you going to feel like...
I'm going to feel like my wings have been clipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be an adjustment.
Have you started like planning what you're going to do when you're done?
Not really. I'm going home for Christmas and I'll get back when I get back, as long as I'm back before the end of January, because we've got that trip coming up.
Boom.
And but outside, I really haven't many plans. I'm going to take some time, just kind of decompress and adjust, try to get adjusted to a new lifestyle.
Won't it be nice, though, going to visit your mother in Baltimore and not have that clock ticking of how much time you have left?
Yeah. This will be the first time in more than 40 years that I can go back to Baltimore home, relax, enjoy myself, spend time with family. My son is up there too.
Oh.
But then when it's time, when I get ready to leave, I can leave whenever I get ready. If I decide I want to stay a couple more days, I can do that, because this will be the first time in more than 40 years that I have not, actually closer to 50 years, that I have not had a job to rush back to.
And will you be flying or driving?
So I plan to drive, but I've made airline reservations just in case the weather gets crazy. Then I'll fly. And I won't have to wait until the last minute. I'm flying Southwest, so I can cancel my reservations if I need to.
How long is it to drive up there?
Oh, it'll take me about 2.5 days, because I don't rush. I've talked to people. Oh, man, I can drive straight through, get there in 22 hours. That's crazy.
You're like, I don't want to do that.
I don't
You're like, I could do that.
I can afford a hotel room, so I take my time. I'll drive.
You want to drive during the day,
relax. Mm-hmm.
Get some bourbon and a cigar,
That's right.
Hang out in the evening.
That's right.
And then not be in a rush.
Exactly. And there's not as much daylight this time of year. I normally drive home during the summer. There's not as much daylight this time of the year either. So I'd like to get off the road before it gets too dark, be able to sit down, relax, have a bourbon, have a cigar, go to bed, get up in the morning, get on the road again.
Excellent.
So normally it takes me about 2. If I don't stop along the way to visit friends, it takes me about 2.5 days.
Okay. Cool.
And I'm not tired when I get there.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, because then you spend a day, I have a week and a half to spend at home, and I spend a day when I get there just trying to recuperate from the drive if I push myself and try to go straight through.
Yeah, 100%. Now, for me, you're going to visit family, but like when I went to Oregon to pick up my daughter, I drove almost straight through up there.
Yeah.
But then on the way home, my daughter's like, we've been in the car for 8 hours. Can we please get a room? I'm like, come on, we can make it.
Yeah. But that's good, though. And it's safer, too.
Oh, yeah, 100%. All right, guys. Well, hey, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Michael Slate from Case Elegance. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey guys, thanks for hanging through the break. We have a special guest with us. We do have Michael Slate from Case Elegance. You guys heard about him. We love his product. And so welcome to the show, Michael. How are you, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Rob. I really appreciate it. I know this is a busy time for everybody with the holidays, and hopefully I can show you guys some really cool gifts this year that we've worked really hard over the last 12 months to bring you some really cool new stuff. So hopefully I can show it to you.
Yeah, we're excited to see all the new products. I don't know exactly how new this is, but this one is absolutely beautiful. And it's the same craftsmanship as my other one that's all flat black. So this one is in here. I've got my flat black one in the lounge area. And so they're both full of cigars and they're so easy to set up. That's that's really the thing that I love about your humidors is that they're so easy to set up and maintain because they're just quality.
Yeah, we've taken the last 5 or 6 years and basically kind of tried to do an Elon Musk of humidors. I know he's a controversial guy nowadays, but certainly I think everybody would say he knows how to go back to first principles and really think about if you can have the best experience ever with a humidor, how would you do that? And obviously that's led us to the humidification system and making that really, really easy to season and maintain. And then recently with, as this is really a pinnacle moment for us because always when we first launched our first humidor, the goal was to make a smart humidor. And what does that really mean? Well, one of the things it means is to have an app companion to the humidor that walks you through seasoning. It walks you through maintenance. Every time your cigars need to be rotated. Every time you need to add solution, it gives you an exact ask to do, if you will.
And you're talking about the valet. You're talking about the valet?
Yeah, so we launched something recently here called the Claro Valet, and it basically it's a Wi-Fi hygrometer, and so you pop in your new hygrometer that comes with it, and it's $50 retail, and you can check your humidity anywhere in the world. It'll give you alerts when you want them, and we've really, really worked hard to make sure it just dials in the entire, as we do, right? As you guys know, we do for everything. It's taken us 2 years to build this app. So this isn't something we just threw together. This isn't an app that we rebranded. Like this is something that we have designed every single piece of this thing from the ground up to really make your humidor a smart humidor.
And that's what we love about the work you guys do is, like you said, y'all break it all the way back down. Instead of taking somebody else's product and go, okay, let's make this better. Well, that might be an easy way out, but you guys don't do that. You say, we want an app that will do this, but we want to cover everything. And so y'all go all the way back to ground zero.
Yeah, we try to take it back, like I said, to first principles and really said, okay, if you were a brand new cigar smoker and you'd never smoked cigars before, which is the case, and we're kind of in this weird period where we're switching over from a older generation of cigar smokers to a newer generation. And I feel like, I've kind of taken this on as my personal mantle, if you will, to try to chaperone this new generation. And what is this new generation like? Well, they love their tech, they love their gadgets, they love their smart stuff. And they also don't really know what they're doing, we found with humidors, right? And I think we just try to make that easy. So from the very first moment of how do I set this thing up to how do I monitor and maintain it, I think the other problem that we noticed with humidor, with especially newer or maybe casual smokers that you see a lot, is they'll throw a couple $100 of cigars in their humidor and then literally just forget about it.
Yeah, and they come back and they've wasted $200.
Exactly. And so this prevents that because when you set it up the first time, it's going, as soon as the humidity starts to drop below 65%, it's going to start to alert you. It's going to say, hey, we noticed your cigars are getting dry. Go to the humidor and add some humidor solution. And so this is really just to protect your investment, and it gives sort of that ultimate solution to cigar smokers. And like I said, it's been a long journey. It's kind of the pinnacle of that journey for us now is being able to truly release a smart humidor.
So do you happen to have a valet with you?
Yeah, I can show you. It's really the product is every single hygrometer that it looks exactly the same, right? So this is I've got one here. This is a hygrometer, and this has got a blue protection tape on it. But if you have like a Renzo, for instance, it's going to pop out the old hygrometer, and then you're going to pop this one in. So, and then we have like a black box.
Oh, so it's actually in the hygrometer.
What's that?
The valet is actually built into the hygrometer. You're not putting a extra piece inside of your humidor.
Correct. Yeah, you're swapping out your current hygrometer with this new hygrometer. And then additionally, it has a little tiny black box that you plug into the wall, and you set it next to your humidor. And that's the part that connects the hygrometer to the internet.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. So tell us about some of the new products that you guys have. I'm super excited about one that I recently received, which is the canister. I've been excited about that, and that's been a long journey for you guys as well. Y'all didn't just throw this together. This was lots of research and development again.
Yeah. So this has been about a 2-year journey, believe it or not. You would think when we thought, hey, we want to make the coolest glass jar humidor that anybody's ever seen. That was our initial goal. And so we kind of started down this road, and it has been a journey, to say the least. It's actually, glass is a really hard material to work with because it's not the same. Every time you make it, it's different. And so the tolerances are just a little bit different. And so we had to come up with some really interesting, unique manufacturing processes to make sure that everything is perfect every single time. Because one of the key components of a glass jar is to make sure that the seal on the lid is airtight, but it can't be too tight, it can't be too loose. And so there's a lot, so you have to make sure it's perfect every single time. And so that's kind of what we've sort of been developing over the last couple of years. And finally now we get to release it.
And I love that one too, because you have a hygrometer built into the wooden top.
Yeah, so it's got, again, we tried to make the pinnacle of glass jar humidors. This is something you'd be proud to sit on your desk. You'd be proud to take your office, wherever. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Sorry, I keep getting...
It really is, and let me slide mine over because I love it. And I also didn't know until I was putting my cigars in it, it actually has a cedar round plank at the bottom. So even though it's glass, you still get the cedar.
That's right. Yeah, we wanted to maintain some cedar. It helps with the smell. It helps with keeping the humidity where it needs to be. But we made this really cool. If you just had a black glass jar, it'd be pretty boring. So I think we made this really cool sort of insert that when you pull it up, you can see your cigars. You can have them separated. So when you pull them out, and then the humidity pack goes in between here. So I don't know what your experience has been. My experience so far with mine is, I think I need another humidity pack. I think you might have to have 2 in here this time of year. Yeah,
and it's December, so it's pretty dry, especially in West Texas where I am. And what I love about it is I filled this up with a whole box of cigars, and there was still room for more. Now, granted, this is the Medallia, which is my Corona Extra, which is my go-to, but it's a 6x46, and so I could literally put a whole box of cigars in here and still had room probably for about 5 or 6 more.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of set it and forget it. Once you get the right number of humidity, you may have to need 2 humidity packs depending on the time of year. We give 1 humidity pack with it to try to catch most cases. I think maybe the next run we'll probably do 2 humidity packs just because it's a little more convenient. But you just throw 1 or 2 humidity packs in there, and that's pretty much it. It lasts for months.
And sir, are these available already? Are these already available on your website?
They're 100% available, Amazon, the website, everywhere.
Okay, cool.
And many retail stores, actually.
Well, very nice. I dig it. And if I'm a cigar shop owner, I'm going to have one of these on the countertop where you're checking out. So you'd be like, oh, what's that? It's like, well, this is what it is. And have cigars in there that you can sell on top of what you already have. So, to me, it's a great product. I just love it because whenever I'm sitting at my studio desk, I have a whole jar of cigars. It's like the candy jar for me.
It's true, and I agree with you. It's great for retail, sitting on the counter. Great for your office desk. It's just what we've noticed is a lot of the customers that are buying this, they already have humidors. So this is sort of acting as their second humidor, as their just sort of smaller stash or whatever. And so this is kind of that product.
And I just think it's so convenient.
Because, you'll need so many humidors.
Oh, 100%. And so, you guys knocked it out of the park with this one. And I have not seen any product that even comes close to this type of product.
No, it doesn't really exist in the market. We've kind of created this thing that, they have, of course, on Amazon, you can buy like a little $10 kind of acrylic, junky little thing, but you're not sitting that on your desk.
And it's not airtight, and it's not, it's not glass.
No, it's not glass. And but this is nice glass, real hardy. Like when you look at it, you're like, man, this thing is really, really nice. So we kind of really wanted to take a line. We know there's just this certain cigar customer that likes the humidity packs. And we're sort of most of our line of humidors is designed to work with our humidor solution, not with humidity packs, because we feel like going back to the Elon Mustang and the first principles, we feel like that's a better experience for most customers. If you're in Miami, humidity packs probably work great, but the rest of the country, humidity packs don't always work as they're supposed to, especially in the wooden humidor. But in these more sealed containers, you can work with humidity packs and they work a lot better, like as they're intended. So we kind of made a whole line of humidors that are more humidity pack oriented. So that kind of brings me into the second thing here, which is our acrylic humidor. This is called the Felix, and this is the Pro. We have 2 sizes. We have the Pro and the Mini. And this puppy is similarly sealed, right? So you can use humidity packs. It just has 1 humidity pack on the bottom. This one will store every bit of 60 cigars. It's quite a bit. Has a couple of acrylic trays come with it. And then it has a cedar tray, which nobody's really done a acrylic humidor with a cedar tray.
Yeah, it looks really nice, man. I really love that you put the cedar tray in there, and then it has the 2 acrylic shelves above it. Y'all knocked it out of the park. And, you know, I had one of those, and I say had. Mine got stolen, Michael.
Really? Opened it up out of the box and it's gone. Huh?
Opened it up, set it here on the table. The next thing I know, Hatch came over, and then I think she took it. So that's gone.
Yeah, it seems like it. So we made this with the Pro model with the exchangeable base. So we haven't made any new base colors, but we've got a black base color on it right now. But you can easily just pop this base off, separate it, and then you can make new bases. So we're going to, of course, make probably a light bamboo color base, little light color bases, so that you can fit it with any sort of interior. That was kind of the plan.
Did you say it has different bases that you can put on there?
Well, we don't have new bases released yet, but that's the plan, right? So right now it's just a black, comes with a wood black base. But as we sort of ramp sales of this and get some momentum, I think that's the next move, is to make just exchangeable bases that you can go with it. So it's kind of a different take on a Tupperware. Like if you're a Tupperware guy, this is a very, very nice Tupperware for a pretty reasonable price at $99.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was shocked that they were that price. I thought they would be like $200.
Well, and Boveda's was $200 when they released it, and their model, the lid did not have hinges. This has its hinges, so when you lift the lid off, it's actually
it's a humidor. Yeah. It's a real humidor. And, I had one of the Boveda acrylic, and it didn't get stolen. I just gave it away.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a fan. I didn't like that whole, put the lid on it. And what you've done is you've made it a simple humidor, just like you do all of your humidors.
Yeah. And again, it's super easy. I mean, I've had one pack in here. It's dead of winter here in Indianapolis, and it's been sitting at 67. Since I put the one pack in there, I've probably got about 30 or 40 cigars in here. So it's been a very easy humidor to keep seasoned. I mean, it's just sealed very well. Your biggest problem with these sealed humidors is just making sure you open it enough to get, some air movement every once in a while, because it's just stale air in there. So that's really the crux of it.
Can you put
easy.
Can you put the valet in the acrylic?
Yes, you can. In any of our humidors, we don't have a circle humidor for this valet here, but you can put it inside. Just take the hygrometer, put it inside if you want it. But this one you can swap out directly, and you can use the valet with it.
Okay, very cool. Show us what else you got. I feel like I'm at. I feel like I'm in kindergarten watching show and tell.
We've got our mag humidors. This has been really popular. $60 humidor. This is kind of our inflation protected humidor. Everybody's kind of switching from steak to chicken, and they're trying to cut back their budgets because they spend too much money on cigars or whatever, or you just need a second humidor, or maybe you want to buy a humidor for a gift for somebody that is just a beginning smoker and you don't want to spend a lot of money. So for $60, this will be the best $60 humidor you've ever seen. We didn't cheap out on anything. In fact, it's too cheap for sure. Like the 5mm cedar combing is still in there. We revamped the humidification system. It's still using our gel and our humidor solution. It still comes with all of that, but it's in a smaller form factor so that you can fit more cigars in it. So we made this thing, get this out, all these cigars here. Made this thing called the Hydro Channel.
Oh, nice.
That's basically meant for this humidor, so that because it's a little bit smaller, it allows you to store some more cigars in here. Just easy to use, and at $60, you can't go wrong.
$60.
That's going to be a great gift.
That's $60.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that is crazy that's only $60, Michael.
Here we go. This is, of course, the tried and true military. Like you got, I just wanted to bring that out. Show this puppy.
That's the one that started it all.
If you're looking to upgrade this season, the military is the upgrade, if you will. I don't have a Luca here at the house, but the Luca is a cabinet style. So if you don't quite have the width of space, we've got, or you just like a cabinet look, we've got the Lucas that we launched It's probably been out about 12 months now, about a year, so fairly new on the Lucas, and the reviews on those are just amazing. Something about that long form factor makes humidification super, super easy on those.
Oh, really?
cabinets.
Because it's a vertical that it makes it easier to keep it humidified?
I think so, yeah, because you know the space is about the size of the tray, and so you just are humidifying just up and down in this way, and it's really, really a little bit simpler than the wider ones where the humidification has to spread out a little more, probably maybe a little less even, right? Because you're taller, like your cigars on top maybe a couple % lower than the cigars on the bottom. It's taller, but it just seems like it's a little easier to keep humidified, the cabinet ones.
Okay. And then you guys have also done some new like refrigerated or humidified type humidors as well?
Yeah, so we've kind of got this, we've kept getting asked about larger capacity units. And we've been really afraid to work with anybody on the fridge side just because there's so many issues out there with compressors, and there's people still selling the thermoelectric, which I don't want to get into it, but there's a lot going on with thermoelectric where they won't be around much longer, and they also break a lot. So we wanted to sort of give people a super, super nice large capacity fridge. And so we launched what we call the Aero line, and it's 500 cigars for it's a $2,000 price point, and that includes shipping. Shipping these puppies, it comes on a freight. It's very expensive to ship these things, so that's one of the reasons for the price. But it is the best Frigidor you've ever. I mean, that's how we do things, right? So it's got an ammonia filter. It's got a drawer in the bottom that you fill with Humidor solution. And then it's got fans that come on and spread the air throughout. It can fit full boxes in there, like with the box and everything.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's big enough for that. But it's not so big that it's a problem. It has a lock on the front of the door. You can either use it or not use it with like a three number combination. Really, really, really great humidor. Of course, beautiful lighting in it. Just a great humidor. We have sold a ton of those already and have not had one issue, not one problem, which is kind of shocking me so far. Usually something happens somewhere in shipping or whatever, and we have not had one problem in shipping. We've not had one problem with manufacturer issues or anything. So super happy with this product line. It's a little pricey. Like I said, the 500 unit ones are $2,000. Again, that includes shipping and everything, gets it to your house. The 1,200 unit model is, I think it's $2,600, and then the 1,700 unit model is $3,200. And so I've already got the 1,700 unit model in with a few radio personalities.
Oh, wow.
With like some cigar reps, manufacturer reps and stuff are all buying these because it makes sense, right? I mean, you've got, those guys have more cigars than you can throw a stick at. So just a great way to set it and forget it, never have to worry about it. Looks beautiful. Humidifies itself.
So you don't even,
a lot of cigars.
Like on those units, you don't need a valet because it's already taken care of because it's automatic.
You can put a valet in it if you want, but yeah, I mean, the only thing that happens is, if your humidification tray, which is really has a high capacity, right? It might last months, 4 months or something. If that goes dry on you, you just haven't touched it in 4 months. Then yeah, you would need to see that the humidity is dropping. But of course, it's got a humidity gauge right there on it. But if a lot of times these are used in like enterprise situations at businesses and such, and it's kind of nice to have that valet because say you don't go into the store that much, or you have 20 stores, or whatever the case may be, you can put a valet in each store, and then it'll just alert you when one is low and you need to go put solution in it.
So it'll like send you a message and say, hey, you need to come check this out.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can, we're launching in a week or so the ability to have multiple. So you can have up to, I think, 30 or 40 humidors in your app.
Wow.
And just swap between them, and it'll alert you about all of them. So
I got to come up, but I would have to come up with a name for each one of my humidors. And you don't know this, but I already have a name for each one.
It's true. That's kind of fun to name them. And we actually have in the app, you can store your cigar collection if you want. Obviously, that's a big ask for somebody like you who's got a massive cigar collection. But maybe if you're just getting started, you can input the cigar collection in there and kind of track it. And our plan with that in the future is to kind of gamify that a bit. I think if you imagine going to a website, you can see how your cigar collection stacks up to other, podcast types and kind of seeing the value of each other's humidors and what they have in it. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, I think that's real cool because, when you're in the grind and you're smoking cigars daily, there's a lot of cigars you don't know about because there's so many. And so if you had it available to where like people could post what their inventory is, be like, oh, you know what? I've never had that, but I'd like to try that. So it would introduce you to some cigars maybe you don't know about.
Yeah. I mean, imagine you could see kind of what's in Robert Caldwell's personal humidor or something. Like, how cool would that be to be able to see that? And even, the Fuente guys or something, they had their unique, I'm sure that they've got cigars in there that are just unbelievable.
You know what Fuente has right now that it's not even for sale is the birthday 69 cigar. It's for Carlito's birthday. And if the only way you can get one is if it's a gift.
Wow. So Carlito's got to gift it to you.
Yes. I haven't got one, but I would love to get one, Carlito, if you're watching.
Yeah. He seems like a pretty nice guy. From everybody that I've had meet him, I haven't met him myself. I think I saw him at the PCA show. But
he's the coolest guy in the world, man, and I call him the Godfather.
Yeah, certainly seems that way.
Yeah, I love that guy. He hopped on one of our herfs one night just out of the blue, and I was like, whoa, Carlito. And I mean, there was only like 20 of us on there, and Carlito pops on.
That's awesome.
It was quite an experience. So what else do you have? Are y'all still doing like a whole line of like watch boxes and jewelry boxes for the ladies and stuff like that?
Yeah, man, we launched our jewelry boxes late last year, right for Christmas, and they did so well. We sold out very early in the Christmas cycle. So we, of course, made some more, and they are selling very well this year. They're beautiful. I don't even remember the texture off the top. We actually had a woman. It's designed by a woman.
Cool.
Just so you know, we hired a woman specifically to make a women's line, and she knocked it out of the park. The textures and everything she's using is just absolutely fantastic. Really cool stuff. Rivals the jewelry box, I think, is in like the 150 range, and then we have a smaller version for like 99 or 89. And I mean, it rivals a $300-400 as our products typically do, right? You're getting a lot of value for money.
You guys sell the best products for the money out there across the board. I mean, we've asked on the show several times. It's like, if I wasn't going to buy a Case Elegance humidor, I don't even know what humidor I would buy. Like before I even knew about you guys, I bought my brother-in-law for my mother-in-law a Christmas gift, and it was a very large humidor, and it was made by Ashton. But as you know, it was a $500 humidor. And so you guys make very close the same dimensional humidor, and it's like $200.
Yeah, no, it's funny because we go to the trade shows and we tell the retailers what the pricing is, and they're all like, "Yeah, that's too cheap." And I'm like, I know, we get that feedback a lot. So I don't know, maybe we should raise our prices. Maybe we will one day, but for now, we're content with sort of taking over the world of humidors and trying to offer a good price for a good product.
Well, I mean, I think you guys knock it out of the park. I'm blown away at the prices. I mean, you have a $60 humidor that is made quality. If you go online and order a $60 humidor, basically you're going to get a shoebox.
It's absolutely true. The cedar, I mean, you cut it in half. We've had some other people cut the humidor in half, and you can compare it to other comparable models or even, whatever. It's just they use paper thin cedar. It's not even, I wouldn't even really call it cedar.
It's not cedar. It's not cedar. It's a film that they put on MFD.
Yeah, it's a veneer, and whereas you can literally, I mean, you can see the cedar in ours. It's thick. It's great. That's one of the things that we really wanted to do. Not to mention the hygrometers. Nobody else has our hygrometer. We have multiple patents on it, and we've redesigned the hygrometer from the ground up basically because we found so many problems with the existing hygrometers. One of the problems is a lot of the humidors you buy on Amazon and other places are essentially designed by the Chinese, and of course ours are made in China. I'm not going to get around that. It's possible to make the number of humidors we make and not make them in China, but ours aren't designed by the Chinese, and the Chinese don't really smoke cigars. And so when you have a humidor that's designed by someone in China, they're going to design it in a way that is cheap, because they're like, well, you need cedar in it, but how much do you really need? And they're just going to put the minimum amount that you can.
Or none.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. And they also, they don't really understand that, they're a bit dishonest in their practices. And so we've found competitors' humidors that it'll say on the front of it on their hygrometer, and usually these are analog when they do this. The analog hygrometer will say 65, 67, and then you'll put a digital hygrometer on the inside and it'll be 35%.
Oh, I've done that. I had a humidor whenever I first came into knowing you guys, and I popped my hygrometer out of my Case Elegance humidor and put it in there, and their hygrometer was showing 72. And so you think, okay, well, I'm good. I put your hygrometer in there, and it was like 54.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and
so I'm not
analog is the problem, but actually they lie. It's on purpose. They do it on purpose. They set it up wrong on purpose.
And that ruins your cigars over time. I mean, I'm like,
absolutely.
If you're going to bullshit me, don't bullshit me about something that's going to ruin my cigars.
Yeah, it's a very short-term mindset for sure. And but it works for them because what happens is you get it, you set it up, and you leave a review and say, oh, this is working great. It says 70%. Everything's working great. And so that's why you see a lot of these humidors on there that have great reviews that are, very cheap. It's because they're lying about the humidity, and it's, so
right. The reviews
it's a tough business.
The reviews are based on the information that they have. But if they were to take a calibrated hygrometer and put it in there, then they would realize that this is not working. But they don't care if it's not working because, like you said, I didn't even know that Chinese don't smoke cigars. So they don't see the value of having a working hygrometer in your humidor.
Yeah, and I guess they're starting, right? There's a very small cigar culture, I'll say, in China, and they don't really understand it like we understand it. And that's why we were able to come in and make such a big impact in this market, was because you took some guys that were young, that cared about cigars, that cared about the culture, that cared about making a great product for a great price, and we worked with them to build something amazing versus them doing it in their way, and it just made for a much better experience for everybody. So I'm super happy with where we are in our marketing and our positioning in our product line right now. I mean, if you would have told me 5 years ago I'd be here, it's like a dream come true for us because we finally, I feel like, got our product line and we have a smart humidor, we have an app, we have our product line and our products at a really, really great place. We've got the fridges now. So we I think have a great experience to offer almost every level of cigar consumer.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And so are there any other products that you're working on that we don't know about yet? Because you guys never stop.
It's true. One of the things that we failed to launch this year was the ammo can. So we built this really cool ammo can that turns into a humidor. And got to give credit. There was a guy, obviously ammo can humidors have been around a long time, but there was a guy that kind of spurred us to action that we're working with a little bit in this scenario called, he makes a humidor called Bullet. And he does, different college colors and stuff like that, like, some interesting stuff. But he came to us and he was having trouble making something cool. And so we said, yeah, well, we want it, right? We want to make something cool as well. And so we took a long time, made just an amazing, we took a 50 caliber ammo can. We got a hygrometer in it. We've got a multi-level system for storage. We've got a little accessory carrier where you can put your lighter and your cutter that magnetizes on there.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, some cool stuff. And that's the price point on that is a little higher, I think, than I thought originally it was going to be. It's going to be around $120.
How many cigars does that hold?
Part of that is just everything that's packed inside.
Yeah. How many cigars does that hold?
Quite a few. It'll still, like 40 or 50 for sure.
Wow. Then your price point's not bad for being able to keep that many cigars hydrated.
It's true, and it's also airtight. So you can, there's no liquid solution in there. You can just throw a couple of Boveda packs in there, and it's perfectly fine with that. So that's kind of like in with our new line of humidors being sort of airtight. And it's great for travel. I mean, you can just pick that puppy up, take it to the golf course, take it to wherever you go, reach in there and swap it with your buddies. So
I don't recommend this to anyone else, but I had to go out of town for 10 days about 2.5 weeks ago. And you know what I took with me?
What?
The blackout humidor.
That's awful big to be a travel humidor.
Yeah, but I'm like, you know what? I never know like who I'm going to be smoking with. And so lots of times I'm smoking out on the patio at a hotel. And next thing I know, I'm smoking with 3 or 4 guys, and I like to hand out cigars. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I'm going to fill this up, and I'm going to take these with me. And it ended up, I brought back half of a humidor worth of cigars.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, I mean, this might be a little better. I don't know if the glass, travels well or not. It could break. I mean,
yeah, that worries me. That this is like for my desk and not going anywhere. But this military humidor, I mean, it holds a lot. And I mean, you have the latches on the side, so you don't have to worry about the top coming open. I love that you have the latches up on the side, and it's got 2 indentions on the side with metal handles. So, I mean, it's actually... I'm not telling anybody else to travel with it, but it actually worked out really good.
I think most people probably travel with 5 or 10 cigars, not 50. So
that's probably true. But now I will say this too. I want to show off this. Tell everybody about these leather travel humidors. It's a 3-finger, and it's got like a metal cap on both ends that's like a polished gunmetal.
Yeah, so we wanted to make something that was like sort of an elegant 3. We have a 2 cigar travel case that fits into the military that we've had for a long time, but we didn't really have something that was a little bit bigger that hold. The 2 cigars are a little limited in terms of the size, the gauge of cigar, and the bigger cigars are harder to fit in there. And so we wanted something that was a little more versatile. This puppy will hold 3 cigars, pretty much any size cigars you want. Has cedar inside of it, so you can throw a little Boveda pack in there and whatever. Travel with it. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, I just throw in a 69.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, whenever I take this, I just throw in a Boveda pack. That's one of those 69 packs, the small ones. Throw it in there, and it's great. And I don't put 3 cigars in here, and the hydration of my cigars is not my main focus when I use this. When I use this, my main focus is I don't want my cigars getting damaged. You know what I mean? When you're driving across the country, and like for me, it's just like I'm going to be gone for like 6 hours. I use this because I don't want to worry about my cigars getting damaged. You can put them in a plastic bag with a Boveda pack, but they are not protected when they're in a plastic bag.
Yeah, it's a great little travel case. Great if you're going on a quick trip or vacation or something. You only like to take a few cigars. We've also got a travel case that it's Italian leather on the outside. It's got the same zippers like a Yeti, so it's kind of sealed in that way. It's got ballistic nylon on the inside.
I haven't seen that one.
We call that the Flint travel case. Holds 5 cigars.
Okay, cool. Well, and you guys also have the leather travel case that has a buckle on one side that unlatches, opens up, and it has enough room for 8 cigars, and it has the cedar built into the travel humidor. I mean, there's a lot of cedar in there.
Yeah, it's full of cedar, and so it's a nice way to. It's pretty cheap. It's like $40, so it's a great way if you really do need 8 cigars when you travel. great little quick gift, quick carry-on deal. It comes in like a solid like box. I know a lot of people like to carry those Pelican type cases. So it's a little nicer than a Pelican case, and it stores 8 cigars, and they're not just like rolling around in there either. They got a nice.
Yeah, and yeah, because each one of where the cigars go, it's actually cut out like a half moon, so the cigars lay in there, and then there's a belt to keep them in place, and that's what Larry takes with him everywhere he goes. Is you guys travel humidor case? Yeah, that's a nice one. That's worked really well, and like I said, from a price point perspective, it's really, really generous at $40. It's a great little quick travel case. So my thing for you guys is you guys have become all things humidification for cigars.
Yeah.
Was that your intent? Was that your intent day one? We're going to make everything, or did you come into this business thinking we're just going to make the best humidor out there?
Yeah, I'm going to be careful how I say this, but we came into the business actually trying to use a humidity pack. When we were going to launch, in fact, our first humidor, that's all that it worked with, was a humidity pack, and our next humidor was just a humidity pack as well. And really what changed was we got a lot of feedback from all over the country, hundreds of customers just telling us, hey, this isn't easy and it's not working like we expected it to work. And so that set us on our own journey of like, okay, well, like humidity pack's not working. Let's try some other things. And so we started, let's start with a giant bowl of water and and we just started going from there until we kind of got to where we are now, which is sort of a multifaceted humidification solution where we've got crystals, we've got our own custom solution depending on the time of the year, and it allows you to be really flexible. And it also works no matter where you live. If you live in the driest of climates, it works. If you're in the dead of winter, it works. Because what's really hard is telling the guy in Nevada how many humidity packs he needs versus the guy in Miami. And conveying that in easy-to-use instructions was really impossible.
Does the guy in Miami need any?
Sometimes no. I mean, sometimes they needed to be able to take out humidity, right?
Oh, okay,
But you're right. We got calls. I mean, after we launched the humidification, the humidor solution and all of that, we got calls from people in Miami saying like, "Hey, man, like this is kind of, I just want a humidity pack." And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead and use this humidity pack. Like you live in Miami, you don't need anything."
Right.
70% humidity all the time.
You're like, open the lid, leave it open for an hour, and your humidor is good to go.
Yeah, and their big problem is a lot of times temperature. Luckily, I think people in Miami tend to use air conditioning in a prevalent way. Arizona is one where we have a big problems with temperature because those guys, it's like I'll ask them, customers, hey, what's the temperature inside your house? And they're like, it's 78 degrees. And I'm like, if my house was 78 degrees, I would literally, you'd see me run around on fire. Like
if my house was 78 degrees in the house, my wife would just be raging mad.
Yeah. But 78 degrees in our humidity, right, is different than 78 degrees in Arizona in their dry heat. And it's like 115 degrees outside. So their air conditioner probably can't even get lower than 78 degrees. So sometimes for those people, you really don't have a choice but to get some type of Frigidor or some type of refrigeration type thing.
Oh, very cool. Well, hey, man, is there anything else you want to tell us about? I feel like I've been at kindergarten and some cool kid has had show and tell day. I
feel like that, too. I don't know, you guys probably can't see me in the podcast. I'm wearing a Santa hat, and I'm just in the spirit here. It looks like, I don't know if this is right, but it's saying on my wall there's 23 days till Christmas. So
that's right.
I would say come to caseelegance.com and check out all the new stuff that we've got. And if you're a cigar guy, this hobby can just be an endless pit of money. So come spend some of that endless pit of money with us, and I promise you will not be disappointed. You will be very, 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 very happy if you spend your money on Case Elegance, because what happens is you get a quality product. And I'll tell you this, Michael, before I came into you guys, I was fighting humidors just constantly. It was one of those things where I was like, this doesn't work, or I don't know what I'm doing. And so you guys made it easy. Like, I don't have to mess with it anymore. And that is a
peace of mind just in itself. I don't have to mess with it. And I will say this too, what I love about your humidors, especially these military cases, is when you open this, like I unlatched it already, but when you open it, I mean, that lid it's solidly sealed. You know what I mean? It's like there's no air getting in or out of this humidor.
Yeah, for sure. We took a long time. That's we have like some pillars, 4 pillars, and the seal is one of those pillars that really matter to humidification. You know, the amount of cedar that we have in it matters. The hygrometer matters.
And the seal that you have around the glass.
Bad, but we found glass tops to not really be a factor in.
Yeah, well, because you guys actually seal the glass on your humidors. These are not just glued to the wood. These are sealed.
Yeah, no, it's not a factor. I mean, we've had a lot of arguments about that with other people, and I think it's kind of an old wives' tale a little bit. And from a sales perspective, we sell, you know, probably 100 glass top, and we have both. Right? We have the non-glass top and glass top. We probably sell 100 glass tops to every one non-glass top. So I think the general public just wants to see their cigars. I mean, that's just
and I've had both the glass top and the non-glass top, and I'm going to tell you right now, as a cigar guy, I want to be able to see my cigars, and so
it's weird, right?
I love it. Like if I can't see in there, it's like I forget what's in there, and I forget. Do I need to put cigars in there? You know what I mean? It's like, how full is it? I don't like my humidors to get below half full. I start getting a little nervous whenever my cigars get down to the halfway mark.
It's true, and you should really keep most humidors half full. That's best for the humidification. You know, one of our biggest customer complaints is the humidor is not working properly, and you ask how many cigars they have in it, and they're like 2. And you're like, well, you're trying to keep a giant box just filled with humidity, and it's like, that doesn't really work that way. Like, you've got to put some cigars in there so that it keeps.
Because once your cigars are properly humidified, it keeps the humidity in the humidor where it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. And people don't realize, they think that whatever number they see on their little gauge, they think that the entire box is that number. But in actuality, we've found there to be variable differences, especially when there's no cigars in a box, of up to 10, 15% between one side of the humidor to the other, the top to the bottom, whatever. But once you fill it with cigars, all of that evens out. And so that's really why you need to keep, like you said, about half full. It's a good.
Well, hey, tell everybody where they can find you guys both on, well, you know what? I already have a link in the show notes for their website, but you guys are also on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah. How can they find you guys on those social media platforms?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. We're Case Elegance on everything. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, just Case Elegance. And I think you guys have got like a discount link in the show notes.
I didn't want to say that yet because I was going to let everybody know Cigar Talk is the only place you can get 10% discount on these humidors or any other products.
The only place.
So we want to say thank you for giving our listeners that 10% discount because, I mean, if you buy a $200 humidor, that's $20. And let me tell you, $20 is either 2 cigars or a really good cigar.
Yeah, or maybe use the $20 and add some accessories to your purchase.
Yeah, because you guys have lighters, you have cutters, and now you also have the humidification club. I don't remember the name of it, but like you subscribe and you guys send the customer their hydration kits every so often so that they always have it. They don't have to go looking for it. They don't have to try to figure out what to do. You basically take care of it for them.
That's true. Yeah, it's called the Claro membership. It's $40 a year, and it gives you 4 bottles of humidor solution. Gives you the extra battery because your hygrometer battery will last about a year. So every year they just send you 4 new bottles. They send you the hygrometer battery, and of course you get new crystals and everything with it, so you can do a total refresh of the humidor. Makes it super easy. We've got a graph on the website that shows you sort of a comparison to how much you would spend on humidity packs versus how much you would spend. And it's like $40 on our membership versus $120 on humidity packs. So it's a big difference.
And I remember before I started using you guys humidors that like, first of all, it was a night and day difference because I had to fight to just always try to keep it humidified. But what I remember is how expensive all the liquids were to redo my humidor, and you guys come in way under that price. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell people other than go to Case Elegance, and then you just don't even have to worry about any of it anymore.
Yes.
And then on top of that, like if you order one of these glass tops, you guys will actually do like a laser or etching or something. I don't even know how you do it, but you can have like your initials, your name put on it, whatever, right?
Yeah. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Great. My phone was dying. I had to plug her in. But yeah, we do monogramming on all of our glass top humidors, on the acrylics. So yeah, you can get, like you said, you get your full name, you get your initials, and it's really super reasonable. It's only $15 to monogram, so you really can't beat it.
So if you get the 10% off with our code that you just click on the link and you'll get your own personal code, you could put that $20 and have it personalized.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we get, I would say probably 80% of the humidors that we sell on our website are personalized. So it's a very common thing we do all the time. And it doesn't take, we usually ship personalized humidors next day. So it ships really quick.
Now, we have never talked about it on Cigar Talk, but I want to go ahead and give you guys a plug for this because I love what you do. I love the fact that you guys take care of your customers, because I've heard back from a lot of people that listen to our show and they say, hey man, I had an issue with like shipping or whatever. And they've reached out and you guys go overboard to take care of your customers. So thank you for that. Like that is so not the norm these days.
It's weird. We get that feedback a lot that, our customer support is sort of best in class. And obviously we work very, very hard at it. But I don't understand why other companies don't have it. I mean, it's, I just give my customer service team the edict, like take care of the customer, no matter what, just take care of them. Right. I don't care what it costs. I don't care what's involved. Like just take care of the customer.
100%. And I mean, so many companies don't do that, because they just want your money up front and then good luck.
Yeah, it seems like that's the case more often than not, which is a real shame, because I feel like that's just not how you build a brand. And I think if you talk to our customers and like people don't just buy one thing from us. They're coming back again and again and again, and they're we launch new stuff and they're buying that, and that's the kind of thing that we're trying to build here, not just to take your money once and be done.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, Tim Rickman, he has a Case Elegance humidor, and last time I was hanging out with him, he told me that he bought his wife the jewelry box, the bigger one, and then he turned around and bought his daughter the smaller one. And I mean, it's like I see the repeat service because you guys give great value and the customer service that makes sure everything is going to be the way it should be.
Yeah, there's no worries about, us taking care of customers. Like, we're going to take care of you. Obviously it comes with a warranty, but for us, it's just more about, we're going to take care of you. If you have a problem, we're going to, really gets down to it, man. I'll fly to your house and help you out. Whatever.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that, because you know what? I got a problem. I don't know what it is yet, but when I figure out what it is, I'm going to make you fly down here, Michael.
It's been long overdue. We need to pick a time when.
Oh, dude! Busy. Whenever you're ready, I am so ready to meet you guys. And you know what? Abilene is not a convenient place to get to, but if you even want to fly into Dallas, you let me know and we'll plan it out. I'll meet you in Dallas for a couple of days. I think that is long overdue.
For sure. I was thinking about TPE. So.
Oh, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. So if you come down, it would be awesome.
Yeah, no, I think it's a no-brainer. We get together at TPE and do it that way.
Oh, well, man, I'm excited now. That just makes my TPE experience go next level. And so, man, we hang out and drink some bourbon together and smoke some cigars, and we will solve all of the world's problems.
Yeah, or at least talk about it. For sure.
Well, hey, Michael, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing with what you guys do. And thank you for the support that you give the Cigar Talk. It really means a lot to us that we that our sponsors are like the people in the business that we want our listeners to experience what they provide, because anybody can sit up here and promote products. That's not what we do. We promote people. And we promote people because they stand behind their products, they make quality products, and it gives a value that you just don't see anymore. So thank you for all the support that you've given to us, and we look forward to seeing you at TPE and hopefully many, many more years.
Likewise, Rob, you guys have been great to us, and happy to have a mutual relationship. And yeah, look forward to seeing you at TPE.
Oh, awesome, Michael. Well, hey, man, have a great week. And for you guys that are listening, hang on, and we will be right back after a quick break. Hey guys, thanks for hanging through the break. Hope you enjoyed the interview with Michael Slate from Case Elegance. We love those guys. We love their product. They have a great team. And I love the fact, like, they don't just kick out new products. They research and they try them, and then they go back to the drawing board and they improve them. And it's like just a non-stop until they get it perfected.
Pursuing it.
So you're not getting some half-ass project kit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're good.
So anyway, it's time for the Tabanero trivia question this week, and we're going to make it real easy. I mean, if you don't know this, then you're going to need to find it. But also, if you have not seen this film, I highly recommend it. It's entertaining, and I'm a big fan of the director of these films. But the film is Rock and Rolla, and all you have to do is tell us who directed it. That's simple. Easy peasy. And if you haven't seen Rock and Rolla, go watch it. It's one of my top 20 movies.
And you can get some Masada money.
There you go. $50 worth. So also, let's talk about one of our other sponsors right quick. We have Artisanal Tobacco. I'm smoking now the El Pupo San Andreas.
Oh, Pupo.
And man, like the first cigar they did, I thought that was as good as you could get. And then they came out with this, and it's like, holy crap, that was just as good. Some people like it better. Some people still like the Viva La Vida better. I think they're equally good.
They're both great cigars. I've enjoyed them both.
Yeah, 100%. They're so full-bodied.
Full-bodied.
Lots of flavor. The construction has been spot on every single one I've had.
Same thing.
So
not a bad one yet.
If you haven't smoked any of the El Popos or the Viva La Vida, you got to go try those guys. And then what do we got left?
Remember.
Okay, me neither. I thought we were going to talk about Christmas.
Christmas.
That's right. So what do you buy people for Christmas that are in the cigars, cutters, lighters, ashtrays, anything that they don't have?
A nice little travel case.
I mean, the list goes on and on of how you can surprise somebody that enjoys cigars. Like Sean was here, last week, 2 weeks ago, right. And when I got here, I found a badass lighter that he had left me. Did you see the lighter?
I did not see the lighter.
It's got a V-cut lighter, or a V-cut cutter built into a lighter.
All right.
And it also has a hole punch for it. And I was just like, holy crap. And I saw him with it, like when I was in Lubbock, and I was like, dude, that's badass. And then he left me one.
Now, you sure he left it for you?
I'm 100%.
Okay.
No, it was in the box.
Oh, okay. I know, because I know you.
It wasn't in the cushion of the sofa.
I know you. Of course, and you know me.
Yeah. No, but I mean, that's just the spirit of giving. And as a cigar community, I feel like we usually share and give throughout the year.
We do.
And so if you have someone that, maybe they've been a teacher in the cigar world for you, give them something nice for all that knowledge that they shared.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's certain people that it's like, wow, hey, you know what? I appreciate what you've done for me. You've taught me a lot. Or maybe it's a guy that's just getting started.
And that's a big help for somebody starting out.
Dude, I was in the Leaf several months ago, and there was a new cigar smoker, and I've talked to him several times. And I asked for him. I said, hey, man, you got a light I can borrow? Mine was out of fluid. And he reaches in his pocket and pulls out a Bic. And I was like, are you serious, dude? You don't have a cigar lighter? He was like, no, this is all I got. So I went to the counter and I bought him a jet. I filled it up and I took it back in there. I was like, dude, here you go.
There
Take
you
that.
go. That's right.
And it was like, everybody should at least have a jet.
Everybody, you need one. If you really want to enjoy the cigar, you should have a jet torch.
And I'm not saying you can't use a Bic, but if you're outside, good luck on getting a cigar lit with a Bic.
I had that problem recently.
100%. I've had that problem. It's like I had a Bic and I was lighting my cigar. But if you're in Lubbock, Texas, good luck.
Where the wind
because
blows.
when you're doing a lighter to a cigar, you're not just like a cigarette where you puff and you're done.
Right.
It's a process. You want to toast it. You want to light it evenly as you rotate the cigar. And if you're using a Bic, it's very difficult.
Hard to do those things.
Yeah. So anyway, this Christmas, feel free to send me stuff.
And me.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in this week. We always appreciate you listening. And until next time.
If you got 'em, smoke 'em.
Until we meet again, happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again.